You'll have to bear with me here because all of my settings got screwed up and I don't know how. So, let's see. Okay. Alright. Oh! Wow, that's loud. Alright, cool. Yeah, so I woke up and hopped on, and I found that every single one of my scenes here had been replaced. So here I am trying to reassemble my scenes and make sure that all of the audio is good and this and that and the other thing. So if you guys could sound off in the chat and let me know that everything is good, that would be a fantastic. Hello, 40 Viking. Hello, fantastic. Hello, Paul. How is everyone doing with this little cold snap if you are in the United States? My heat hasn't shut off yet, so I'm just looking forward to the electric bill. Double moss. Okay. Let's see. I don't know where that other moss could be coming from. Monitoring's off on that. This makes no sense. Oh, and here I thought you were being offensive. Fantastic. I was about to be like, geez, dude. Okay. I don't know. Hmm. Bear with me, guys. I'm not 100% sure. Is it still echoing? Because I'm only seeing one input for my mic. And I've only got, let's see. I'm seeing one input and I've only got one mic set up. What the heck? Still echoing, huh? It would do this on the morning that I'm hungover. Hello, Avenue Studios. You have to bear with me while I sort out the echoing issue that I can't even locate. So, you've got good instincts there, Paul. Good instincts. Okay. Is that any better? Maybe I found it. I'm not sure how that works because that's weird. Okay. Yeah, let me know if that helped. No echo, we have won. Gentlemen, we have won the day. Very cool. Very cool indeed. All right. That is how we problem solve. Collaborative. We stopped, we collaborated, we listened to my terrible audio, and we solved the issue. America. That's what it's all about. All right. So I'm gonna let me see if I can find us some tunes to listen to, so that way you guys don't have to just sit there and listen to the dulcet tones of my voice. Because I know how great it is, but I also know that you guys probably don't want to listen to me sniff and swallow the whole time. So we're gonna put on some let's see, what do we got? Let's do this one because let me switch that up. Nope, that's ambience. We don't want that. We want this. All right. Let's see. Dang. Okay. Hi, Dan. You guys are silly. Alright, hopefully that means we've got everything worked out. Let me know if you can or can't hear the music in the background. You know, I was thinking about it the other day, and I realized that I am, in fact, missing something very important. A map which has not been made yet, somehow. Is this all my maps? Is there 54 here? Huh. I feel like I've made more. BGM is audible. Thank you, Paul. Huh. Why do I feel like I'm missing maps? Regardless. We're gonna do something kind of fun today. Maybe. Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe it won't be. I don't know. It might not be fun at all. It might be terrible, actually. Come to think about it. It really might. Okay. So, I'm thinking... Let's see. Almost finished the first episode of Jacob's Ladder, by the way. Bellrock almost throwing out the plot device was hilarious. I was like, what are you doing? You can't just do that. That would have been, like, it was going to be one of those situations where the book is haunted, and regardless of how many times you throw it out or burn it, it shows up on your nightstand. It was going to have to be one of those things if I wanted the campaign to continue. Otherwise, it was just like, okay, well, campaign's over. Yeah, it's, Paul, it's a good time. I had a lot of fun with it, and, man, it's a completely different vibe, I'll tell you that much. It's a different vibe. Map of the tavern / brothel where the party has to drag the bard out of. That was not what I was thinking. What I was thinking is I'm thinking about doing a gladiatorial arena, and I don't know how that hasn't been done on this channel yet. But that's what I'm thinking. So let's see. Plenty of walls. Embrasure, huh? Interesting. Interesting. That's a good asset to have. Molten gold gutter. This is all dwarven stuff. He didn't question or anything. It was an immediate one smash it. Dude, well, I have to say, like, kudos to him, because that is him playing his character 100% to a T. Like, it was perfect. I have to say. It needs to be bigger. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Alright. Is that too big? Because we're going to want to see some of the stands, but at the same time, I don't know if we really need to see all of the stands. Maybe, just maybe, the pit should be the main focus of the map. Yeah, so what Dan's talking about, if you guys didn't know, I'm sure you've heard me talk about it ad infinitum up to this point. But first episode of Jacob's Ladder dropped yesterday, and I have to admit, I'm the kind of person that will listen to my own stuff, and I listened to it yesterday, and it's great, man. It's great. I loved it, and I'm very proud of it. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't watch it yet, but by all means, should you feel so inclined, I give you permission to go and watch it after the stream. Did I get myself hung? Oh my gosh. No, it was an accident that I'm hungover. It was an accident. Well, it wasn't an accident, but it was a mistake on my part. I had some vodka left over last night. And, you know, I'm in the mindset of, oh, I'm going to get snowed in. So I'm going to go get some beer. And so that's exactly what I did. I went and got some beer. And I drank it. Not all of it, but I drank enough of it. And yeah, that's where we are. That's where we're at. I don't know if those are even or not. We will see. Exactly, it wouldn't be frugal, and if there's anything that I am, like, nobody can claim that I'm not frugal. Gate doors. Perhaps. Ooh, okay. Okay. Let's see, we're gonna want some, post large door frame log pillars. Ooh, this is a good gate. I think that is gonna need to come forward a little bit. The only issue that I have with this, you know what? Yeah, I think the issue that I have with that is that the wall is being seen from an angle. Like, we're in the center of, our viewpoint is the center of this gladiatorial arena, right? And so we're seeing the inner side of the wall, which means that we would need to be seeing the inner side of the door. And so I think what we're gonna have to do here and the weird part is that we're not able to see this door at nearly as steep an angle as we are the wall. And that kind of throws off the consistency of the whole thing. Unless we do it this way. Yeah, it doesn't look quite right to me. I'm gonna spend 45 minutes on these doors. You know what I think I'm going to end up having to do, though? Is, I'm going to end up having to shrink this wall down, I think is what we're going to have to do. Let's see. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. You know what's great about gladiatorial arenas? You don't really have to do much of anything, and they will be what they are. This can be just a pit in which people fight to the death without adornment, without... let me see here. I'm gonna need to widen this up a little bit, this portal. Well, fantastic. When it's really important, you will spend an inordinate amount of time accomplishing it. Exactly. The door... That's why we, as GMs, put doors in TTRPGs. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fun for anybody. Watching them struggle with a door is, it's basically my life essence, you know? Sand with stones. Let's see. Let's see. Try that. That's not a bad one. Yellow sand, beige sand. You definitely want sand. I know that much. Dude, yeah. So, GM tip I was giving once. If you're out of ideas, put a random chair facing a specific direction and let the player conspiracies go wild. Dude, I'm telling you. Like, I was reading a blog post about that one time. It was like, you come into a room, and the room is virtually empty. There is one door across the way on the other side of the room. And within the room, there is a single chair. And the chair is facing a chest. And that's it. And the guy who was writing the blog post said that his players went for like 4 hours trying to figure out what was going on with his chair. What is this? It's like Zen garden sand or something? It is. What is it with this molten gold? I want to see what that looks like. It looks weird. It looks like some sort of sci-fi hive mind thing. By the way, I should probably have Discord up because I need to make sure of certain things. Let's see. The trippy hand thing? Oh man, I think I know what you're talking about. Is it hold on. Ugh. Is it this? Is that what you're talking about? The fact that it's so universal that we both heard of it. Yeah, humans are interesting in what they lock onto. It's like it's like well, you remember, Dan, when we were doing that Lord of the Rings one shot on Moonskull, the apple farm. I should have known better than to even just throw that in as flavor. But of course it was going to get locked onto. Who are these people who run this apple farm? This orchard is odd to me. Are these apples poisoned? Your players assume the worst, but no, but that's a great idea. Is always fun. Exactly. No, it's great because it allows you to almost... It allows you to almost forego anything else that you had planned. And gives you as the GM a little bit of time to take a breather, you know, while your players just mess around in something that is completely mundane. Spend 4 hours and the only question you have to answer is, no, it's just a chair. Time to start making French toast. No fair. No fair. He knew immediately what you meant. I think as GMs, you can suss out what is a passing detail and what is actually integral to the story, which is why during Jacob's Ladder, that first episode, I wasn't convinced that... I wasn't sure if Velrock was, like, if he knew that that was a plot device and he was just trying to mess with me, or if he genuinely was like, oh, this little thing, yeah, we're just gonna throw it out. Come on, kid, let's see if we can blow it up with firecrackers. I was genuinely concerned that I was gonna have to try to come up with some other way on the fly to get them to be like, no, we need this. Because on the surface, it's just a MacGuffin, you know. That's all it is. Let's see. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Well, one of the things I love about Velrock is that he's the kind of person that's like, as a player, he is not afraid of oh man, I don't know how to describe it. He's not afraid to derail everything. And I love that about him. But it also, he makes you work for your money. Whoa, hold on. Let's undo that. That's it. Okay. Thinking, yeah, we get our sharpened stakes in here. I love it. Frost is like, oh, hold on. What's that you got there, kid? Now that's part of why I am. That's part of why I'm so excited about this show, is because I think that everyone who is involved it's a little bit easier to get into and identify with their character, and so it makes it a little bit more believable, so to speak, because it's just a person from 30 years ago. see. Get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of... There we go. Boom. We got sharpened stakes. Keep those pesky gladiators off the walls. Keep them from trying to escape. Climb out. Let's see. There should probably be... Some trapdoors, maybe. Like, how diabolical do we want this gladiator pit? Do we want, like, do we want this to be a situation where the environment can absolutely decimate the party? Or do we want this to be a situation where it's, like, all you got to worry about is the opposing team? Because we could definitely make this into a situation where there are traps absolutely everywhere. And it seems to me like it seems to me like we with TTRPGs, the more interactive the environment is, the more fun it is for everybody. That's just my 2 cents. But at the same time, if somebody ends up getting killed by a trap in the environment, it doesn't seem too terribly fun. But at the same, oh man, in the same token, if there is a totem of spinning spikes and one of the party members wants to throw somebody into it, that can also be fun. Sounds like a politician. Roman Emperor Commodus loved playing gladiator and making the entire Senate watch. Once he slaughtered hundreds of amputees to roleplay Hercules killing the undead in Hades? Really? Dude, that sounds like, that genuinely sounds like one of the Roman myths. And by myths, I mean, like, part of the mythology. All right, traps and obstacles are absolutely necessary. You got it, my friend. Let's see what we can do. All right. So, and I might actually, oh my goodness, guys, I've got like 5 hours of sleep, or less. I've got like 4 hours of sleep, so I'm gonna be yawning throughout this whole thing, and I'm gonna be yawning through, Alien too, so that's gonna be fun. But we're gonna make this diabolical. Hello, Vijay. How are you? Why does Minnesota have to make everything worse? That is a question for the ages, my friend. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Let's see. You know what? Part of me is thinking, like, how necessary is this? Because I also may want to have things embedded in the walls that can hurt and or maim the players. Let me see something here. We're wanting to... Vertical offset. There we go. I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 15 by 15 for the entirety of the battle map. I think the at its widest. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is yeah, at its widest, 14, unless you're having like a ton of people in here, which I don't think would be necessarily the case. Because, I mean, you think about it, every combat, everybody's just kind of grouped up together in the same place anyway, for the most part. It's just what naturally happens. So, with that being said, there's a lot of these traps here are like, a lot of the trap assets are jungle themed, strangely enough. So let's see. Make this, let's see. Let's throw a spike pit there. And a spike pit there, maybe? Yeah. The wife says, try getting 4 hours of sleep in 4 days. How is that? Why? Why are you only getting 4 hours of sleep in 4 days? Gotta walk the dog. Gotta walk the dog to be back for Alien game. See y'all digitally soon. Later, Dan. Good talking to you, brother. Forefathers didn't cross the ocean on the Mayflower and fight in the Revolutionary, Civil, and World Wars just to have this snow-laden state kill my country. Yeah, Minnesota's wild, dude. Minnesota's a wild place. It's funny, but not altogether. We have lots of sex. Nice, dude. Nice. Minnesota's a weird one because that 49 state landslide that was the only one that did not go for Nixon. So, I mean, it's traditionally it's swung that way. But what's going on there now? No idea. It's a combination of things. That place is oh, what's that term? The term that I'm looking for is gosh, I don't know why I can't think of it. Trying to convince Sevi to migrate to Wisconsin. I mean, you know what? I have asked her on more than one occasion, like, hey, oh, is that why the other candidate was from Minnesota? That's okay. Okay, man, I bet they were devastated. I have asked her on multiple occasions, like, hey, is everything cool? Like, I know you're kind of in the vicinity. She's like, yeah, I'm fine. You know, all that stuff is in, like, everything is in Minneapolis. I was like, okay, well, as long as you're cool, I worry, you know, because that's pretty stuff that's going on there is pretty nuts. Yes, sarcastic. That is exactly what I mean. Let's see. You know what? You know what I want to do? Actually, here's what I'm going to do. We are going to get rid of let's see. We're going to get rid of these. So that way it'll widen up it'll widen everything up just a little bit. Give us a little bit more room to work with. And then I think what we're going to do is I'm actually going to be a little bit more sparing on some of these assets here. So I'm just going to place this let's see, can I if I transform this, am I able to like bend it? No, I can't bend it. But I want to bend it. Shock trap totems? Interesting. You've offered to teach her to cook if she moves less than 45 minutes away. Dude, you got your work cut out for you, my friend. Where was that? Here we are. Here we are. I'm going to scale this down just a little bit. And, yeah, see? Spikes are going to be some nice family fun. Biden judge let all those people who protested in the church out of prison without bail and stated the feds didn't give evidence they violated the FACE Act. You know, I'm not learned enough on the FACE Act to really have an opinion on that. I'd heard somebody talking about the FACE Act and how they were in violation of it, and that like there may be potential violations of the KKK Act as well. But I honestly, I don't know enough about that to really have much of an opinion on it. What I will say is that I saw Don Lemon, actually, he interviewed a guy who was walking out of church, and the guy was like, he's like, look, man, we're just here, we just want to praise the Lord. We're just here at church. We don't want to, like, I don't want to be interviewed right now. I don't have anything to say to you. A 9-pound dog won't stop humping my 90-pound dog. What can I do? There is the fixing option. Other than that, you know what you should do is find a little teacup 2-pound dog to hump the 9-pound dog, and see how it feels about that. That was the pastor, and it was inside. No, this was a guy who was outside. I didn't see when he was. I didn't see the interview with the pastor. This was another guy, and Don Lemon caught him outside. You guys think? Okay, I'm not sure what I want to do with these spikes. Do I just not want that many and have them kind of spread out along the wall? And just make it to where, you know, they're... Every once in a while you might have... If you get too close to the wall, you might have a risk of impaling yourself on one. Maybe? Or do I want to have them all over the place? Because part of me is thinking also, like, we could have this here, which is it's like a little arrow trap, right? Or a little harpoon trap. Been listening to stuff on this for a while because long form content is a must while I work. Yeah, I get that. I haven't really had much of a chance to listen to much of anything on it, to be honest. To listen to much of anything on anything, because at work I'm dealing with customers and stuff. So as soon as I actually, you know, if I'm able to focus on anything, then, you know, a customer will walk in and I have to stop it, you know. So it's tough for me to actually get into something that I have to focus on. Cut all federal funding to any state who doesn't comply with federal law, mine included. Watch how things change. I mean, yeah, that's what people have been saying for a while, right? I've been saying it. You've been saying it. We all been saying it. Ain't I been saying it, Miguel? I've been saying it. Ooh, you know what I want to do? Yeah, this will be good. Here, let's do this. And then... Ooh, this is diabolical. Let's see, what kind of rails do we have? I need some rails. Here, let me do this. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of this. And we're gonna go back in here. We're gonna do this, right? We're gonna take this and we're gonna bring it all the way. I think this is centered, right? Bring that there, right? And then we are going to bring that out like that. Bring that up so that has... that doesn't really make any sense. Let's see. What I would like to do is construct it in a way that this roller moves across the map. And I want to do two other ones. Let's see. I only continue with Nova Beast because it's something different and I'm not sick of 4 out of 5 people on there. Hey, you know what? That's a compliment to the other 4 people. That's why we stick with anything, right? Oh my god, it's cold in here. What is the temperature right now? 1 degree. It is 1 degree outside. It's like as soon as my heat shuts off. Oh my god. As soon as my heat shuts off, I feel the cold just radiates through the window, and I have old windows that are not well insulated. I need to find a way to get this to move. Thinking maybe if it's pulled along with a chain. See, this would be an interesting idea too, because if you've got, okay, now I'm getting strange ideas, and perhaps this is getting a little bit far-fetched, but let's see, if you've got chain being pulled tightly across this here, it kind of bisects the battlefield to where you have to, the players would have to climb over this chain in order to get to the other side. And so that does create another obstacle, which is kind of cool, right? I they don't have any poles, right? Yeah, all the poles are laying down for some reason. Think I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Okay, here's what I need to do. Here's what I need to do. We're gonna take this and stretch it all the way out to about here, right? Then we're gonna take this. We're gonna stretch it all the way out to about here. I don't know if this is gonna work, honestly. Would it be illegal to go to the protest with super soakers? Probably. Depending on what the state law is, I'd imagine that probably a state like Minnesota would consider shooting someone with shooting an unwilling person with a super soaker to be assault or battery. I don't know though, man. That's a good question. I think using anything on somebody without their express permission can be considered oh gosh, what am I thinking here? Battery. Hello, Chrysanth. How are you? I royally screwed that up. And I think, honestly, this is proving to be a little bit more complex than I had intended it. I intended it to be. So I'm going to completely abandon this because I am never going to get this done. I'm sure you'll figure something out, VJJ. A wizard tower? In a gladiatorial arena? No! The Death Claws in Fallout Season 2? That is a great question. I wasn't sure. When I first saw them, I wasn't entirely sure. Because I felt like their horns were just like so huge. Like they were unreasonably massive. But at the same time, I don't know. Here, you know what? Let's do a quick thingy. Let's do a quick thingy. Death Claw. Yeah, well, see, I mean, this, based on the artwork here, I mean, you know, it looks fine. As far as their appearance is concerned, I am very much like I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the appearance of it. I'm fine with the design. I mean, it's basically the Death Claws from the game, from what I'm looking at. I think it's odd. Spoilers, by the way. I think it's odd that they decided to make the strip's now taken over by Death Claws. Like, why? That's odd to me. And they feel like they're more of a what they've done with them is make them more of a set piece than an obstacle. What I really would have liked to have seen is like what is the quarry that you have to get through in New Vegas that is just infested with death claws? Or like maybe it was like it could have been something, and season's not over yet, so it could have been something, but it seems to me that like a death claw should be something, as far as the show is concerned, to be I mean, it should be like a boss, right? It should be like a final boss for the season. It's like, oh, we need to get into the Lucky 38, but there's a death claw that's nested in there. Quarry Junction, thank you, Quarry Junction. Like if they had to get through Quarry Junction and they had to figure out how to get through it with all the death claws. But it just kind of became, it's just a set piece that now it kind of makes the strip off limits. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me as far as what they've done with the death claws. But I'm not a writer, and I assume that maybe they've got something planned for the strip in episodes, 7 and 8. Probably what's going to end up happening, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Ron Perlman, which for those of you who didn't know, Ron Perlman is in the show and he plays a super mutant. We found that out last episode. He and I guess Walton Goggins' character is not necessarily gonna. I don't know why. I'm terrible with names. Why can't I remember his name in the show? Walton Goggins' ghoul character. Walter? No, that's not right. But I guarantee that super mutant hates humans, obviously. So that super mutant is going to go and he's going to release all those death claws on Freeside. You can see that coming a mile away. Maybe it's their way of being loose with the canon of New Vegas ending. Yeah. I mean, well, okay. So how do we deal with this? Caesar's Legion is still around, so maybe the player didn't completely eradicate them. Probably killed Mr. House, or Mr. House died in one way or another. Like, and the NCR obviously is a non-entity, so the only ending that they could have gone with was, if the player and Yes Man kind of did their own ending and took control of New Vegas. Well, maybe the courier left and left New Vegas to its own devices, and so now there's death claws in the strip. Odd. And then they went like the School of Impersonation is on the opposite side of Freeside. It's on the opposite side of the strip from Freeside. And I feel like they're moving locations around because when Lucy and Walton got why can't I think of his name? This is gonna bug me. Let's see. Oh, it's just the Cooper. Oh, yeah, thank you, fantastic. I didn't see you said that. Yeah, Cooper Howard. What was I even talking about? Oh, yeah, when they're coming into New Vegas, they go into Freeside. You see the School of Impersonation, right? And you see the that faction. I can't remember what the faction's name is. God, my memory is terrible. And they're all ghouls now. But then they go through the strip, and they go into what I assume, like, it's like they go into the Atomic Cowboy, right? Or at least Cooper does. The ghoul goes into the Atomic Cowboy. So, like, it seems to me that they're moving locations around. I'm not 100% sure where they're at. I did see Fisto, and I chuckled a little bit on that one. Now, if they can bring in the that group of grannies that comes in to beat you up with rolling pins, that would be top tier. That would be peak Fallout. So, like, as far as this season is concerned, I am like 80-20 on it. Like, there's some things that I'm like, I'm rubbing my head at. But there's other things that I really like. Like, you know, I like that we're finally getting to see a super mutant. It's odd to me. I kind of wish that the super mutant was like just kind of a mob, you know, that they had to kill. But yeah, they're ignoring almost all of the New Vegas lore. I mean, maybe I'm forgetting a lot of the New Vegas lore, but I don't. It seems to me like they just took. Well, yeah, they kind of are, but they're taking an assumed ending from it, which is the problem. Like, we don't have a Fallout that's set in LA, so they could kind of do whatever they want. But now we have a Fallout. They're in New Vegas, and so we have a Fallout for that, and we know the lore for that, so they have to kind of, you know, assume an ending, which was their first mistake. If they knew they were gonna go to New Vegas, they should have set the damn show before New Vegas, so that way they wouldn't have to. Make any assumptions on player choice. West Coast super mutants are more likely in the games to talk and have superior intelligence. Is that canon? Is that true? Huh. Wish they would have done a different area completely. Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool. Like, what if, well, Alaska wouldn't necessarily be a very good one because Alaska's kind of sparse. There's not really a whole lot to see. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I was kind of hoping to see some stuff that you get to see in the games, but I don't want them to make any assumptions on player choice. Why is that so difficult? Why is it so difficult if you're gonna make a TV show after a video game? Why does player choice have to be a factor in the writing? Why can't it take place within the framework that was already laid out by the game? You can, like, they don't have to destroy New Vegas to make it a good set piece. Somebody said earlier, I forget who it was, but like Bethesda hates the fact that Obsidian made New Vegas, but it's the most popular one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Bethesda ZeniMax? Is it did ZeniMax do? I don't know. No, well, it's just Bethesda is all it was. Bethesda didn't really have much of a hand in New Vegas. I think they were just kind of the publishers. And Obsidian did the development, whereas 3 and 4, Bethesda did all the development. Which, you know, I love Fallout 3. I love the Capital Wasteland. Love it. I absolutely love it. And, you know, I'm just as guilty as anybody of wanting to see, like, I want to see the Capital Wasteland in the show. But why, again, why can't it be that the show takes place before everything happens? Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting messages about Alien. I gotta make sure, because those of you who are familiar with the situation know that Erudite has power issues. I don't know how, but he seems to me like every other week he is constantly losing power. Obsidian also made the Outer Worlds and Avowed. The New Vegas Obsidian is dead, and a lot of people need to realize that. Yeah, I like the Outer Worlds too. I'm with Gellert Zach Huck on this. Like I thought the Outer Worlds was fine. I'll say that much. I didn't love it. I liked it. I like the world building of it, and I like the kind of the goofiness of all the different corporations and stuff. But yeah, considering how poorly Rings of Power and The Witcher shows were executed, I am pretty satisfied with Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. It's just, I mean, but if it's a standard of like, oh, the bar has been lowered so much, mediocrity is now acceptable. I don't know if that's the case, but I don't know if I'd consider what they're doing with this mediocrity. There's just a couple of things that I kind of shake my head at the Fallout show, and there's other things that I'm like, that's pretty cool. I can only make it through the first planet on Outer Worlds. Yeah, well, the problem with the Outer Worlds is that the gameplay wasn't very well refined, I don't think. It was fine, but it was very dated for when it came out. Like, there were shooters who were doing it 10 times better. And it was just clanky. And like the gameplay, your character felt like he weighed nothing, you know, and the guns didn't really have any weight to them either. In Hollywood, the bar is laying on the ground. Yeah, thought about playing the Outer Worlds, but it didn't appeal. Yeah, I mean, it's quirky. You know, I played it all the way through, and it was fine. I had enough fun with it. The characters in it were all right. I didn't mind the characters. The French toast is done and tasty. I'm jealous that you get French toast, my friend. It makes me sad a little bit to know that you have French toast and I don't. And to know that I have, in 24 minutes, another stream that I have to get to, and I'm not going to have time to actually make any food. Starfield was the best thing to happen to the Outer Worlds. I mean, you're probably not wrong. Starfield was objectively better than the Outer Worlds, I think. I think that's an objective. Well, I guess that can't be an objective fact, but in 9 ways out of 10, that it's better. Been hearing nothing but complaints about the Outer Worlds. I mean, I heard the Outer Worlds 2 was just a non-entity. You know, whether it existed or not is completely irrelevant. It didn't have to exist at all, And honestly, I had forgotten that it existed for a long time because it came out and then people talked about it for about a day, and that's about it. Divinity 2, is it Divinity or Divinity Original Sin 2 that you're playing? Because I know those are two different things. I loved Divinity Original Sin, because I'm a big fan of CRPGs all of a sudden. I haven't played Divinity 2 though, because I think Divinity 2 is more of an action RPG. Unless I'm mistaken. Waffle batter is currently resting. Had to use Greek yogurt because I ran out of eggs. The one that came out before BG3. Okay, yeah. I am a big fan of that one too. I really like the... I wasn't sure when I first played it. I wasn't sure about the action economy. Having 4 action points to do with whatever you want, or whatever. Wasn't sure about it. And then I put 400 hours into BG3. Really enjoyed that, but got kind of tired of it. And then went back to Divinity Original Sin 2 and found it refreshing. So I was a fan. Guys, I have gotten almost nothing done with this damn map. Almost nothing. This has been just a stream of me talking. And gosh, I got cottonmouth like a moo. I might be dehydrated. Tried Fallout 4, but you couldn't get into it either. I could see why you wouldn't be able to get into Fallout 4. Because the characters in Fallout 4, admittedly, with a few exceptions, are very bland. Looking at you, Preston. But I personally enjoyed the settlement building. I had a lot of fun with that, although I didn't get too deep into it. Some people go crazy about it. Like, there's entire YouTube channels devoted to settlement building in Fallout 4. So I enjoyed that, to an extent. The gunplay was a lot better than it was in New Vegas or 3. But voice protagonist was a mistake. 100%. I 100% agree with that. Yeah. But they tried it and they found out it didn't work, so they fixed it for Starfield. You got a silent protagonist for Starfield. Now, Starfield's campaign was, didn't really care about it at all. And God, what they did with Starfield breaks my heart. It genuinely breaks my heart, because I feel like I love outer space, and I would love to have had Starfield been something special, but it just wasn't. It wasn't special at all. Like the whole thing, it just felt empty. They did good with the building, the shipbuilding. I enjoyed that quite a bit. But it was cost prohibitive, and so you had to play a lot of the game if you wanted to build like a crazy ship. And in order to play the game and make money, it was a lot of fetch quests and stuff that didn't matter. And like, if it was a situation where it was kind of like The Witcher, where the side quests are just as engaging as the main quest, then yeah, you know, I'd be more than happy to play that game, you know, to infinity and beyond, as it were, so that I can earn enough money to build a crazy ship. But that wasn't the case. Like there was I remember doing a quest in there for one of the factions, and it was like 15 minutes of walking, and every once in a while you come across like an ambush by these bugs, and it was the same bugs over and over and over and over, and I'm like, it just floored me how I was like, who designed this? How is this good quest design? It's not it's terrible quest design. And that's half of the freaking game. The other half of the game is walking across an empty planet. And they had the nerve to come out and say, like, well, it's engaging because whenever the astronauts landed on the moon was empty, and they were amused. Like, well, this isn't the moon landing. We're not doing the first thing that a human's ever done. Like, this is a video game. Rule of thumb on a video game is that you have to have a point of interest every 43 seconds of travel. That was I can't remember where I heard that. That was a rule that I think that they mess around with oh, what game was that? Was it The Witcher? Like, on average, 43 seconds of travel brought you to a new point of interest. I can't remember, but you know, it was just completely unengaging. Speaking of side quests, that's one thing I didn't like about Ghost of Tsushima. When the side quests are boring and bland, the main ones are great. I know, different game from topic. No, well, no, that's a good one too, though, because that's church, bro. Yeah. Well, no. See, Ghost of Tsushima is a good one because what Ghost of Tsushima did well was they had a good, unique enough combat system to make combat really fun. I gotta say, like, Ghost of Tsushima, where the duels were awesome. Love those. I love the duels in Ghost of Tsushima. But what they did well with Ghost of Tsushima was the environment. Like, the environment design, the world design is near flawless. Loved it. Like, if you're riding through a field of pampas grass, and the camera just kind of zooms in down just below and off to the right of your horse while you're riding, and you've got the pampas grass just passing by. Dude, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then you get the cherry blossom trees, and then you get that contrasted with, you know, just a small Japanese settlement that had just been burnt, and the way that they were able to layer in the lighting mixed with the smoke effects, the volumetric smoke. They did that so well. And yeah, the main story in the game is really good too. But yeah, I mean, the side quests, you know, you take out the side quests and it's not really that big a deal. But that's the thing, though. With that game, you don't need to do the side quests in order to get the stuff that you want. Like, you can totally beat the main story of the game without collecting all of the little trinkets and things that you get from the side quests. But yeah, the Ghost of Tsushima was a fantastic game. Fantastic. Let's see. I'm gonna move back up here because Paul said the biggest thing from 4 that I like is the power armor and makeover of the death claws. Yeah. Well, yeah. Dude, the power armor, they did a good job with the power armor on Fallout 4. I really enjoyed that as well. Like, my intelligence build for Fallout 4 was 100% the most powerful build that I had. Just because I built near impenetrable power armor. I do them. I platinum trophy that. You platinum trophied Ghost of Tsushima? Good job, dude. Yeah. I've gone back to Starfield a few times, and I can get to the Clone High planet without looking up where it is and just finding it, but I keep getting bored. I mean, yeah. You know, and I like the idea that when you beat the game, spoiler alert, by the way, it basically just resets you, and you find out that you're kind of, you know, that you're kind of the entity that was, I can't remember exactly how it went. It's kind of, I don't know, and it's not super intriguing to me, but I like the idea that it kind of just resets you back in the beginning with only a few things that are, with a few things that are different. It's like a parallel universe almost. I kind of like that, but at the same time, I'm like, not enough has changed to make me want to play that again, because the main story was just, it was not engaging enough for me, and neither were the side quests. Starfield is just, in my opinion, if I were to give it a rating out of 5 stars, I'd give it, I mean, I feel like 3 would be generous, being generous. There's things that they did well. Like 2.5. I give it a 2.5 out of 5. I mean, that's all there is to it. But I'll tell you what, I've got about 12 minutes before the Alien stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Guys, we got a lot done today. Look at all this. Look at all this. We got so much done, and I'm very happy with our progress. So I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna hop over to Alien stream over on Moonskull. So go and check that out if you want. Also, if you haven't yet, check out Jacob's Ladder that just dropped yesterday, right here on this channel on the YouTube side. And if you haven't seen it yet, also check out Sanguine Destiny, because that's Curse of Strahd played in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And that one's definitely going to be a lot of fun. So, with that, best darn arena ever, I say. Thank you, Chrysanth. I appreciate the non-patronizing, I don't know. My words are escaping me. But with that, I will bid you all adieu, auf Wiedersehen, Gesundheit, and God bless.